Hello and welcome to glennzb TV for Tuesday, the show that puts glennzb into your virtual headset. I'm bringing New Zealand to the world, and the world to New Zealand. And so yesterday, the acting Prime Minister, Winston said that you can't believe everything you read on Twitter. Specifically with regards to President Trump tweeting about what he may or may not do to Iran if Iran doesn't stop saying mean things to America. And to some degree, I'm with Winston on this because it's true that you should not believe everything on Twitter, and also President Trump's tweets are hard to believe. I find anything that's written entirely in capital letters hard to believe. I always just want to turn it down. I feel like I'm being shouted at as well. To be honest, I find President Trump hard to believe. I find the fact that he is president hard to believe. I find anything that he says either on Twitter or in real life hard to believe. Basically, I can't believe that it's happening. Even now, I just don't really believe it. It's all. So I'm with you on that, Winston. What I'm not so sure about is what the police are doing vocabulary-wise. I've always been a bit sceptical about. You often have somebody from emergency services or from the police, and they're always proceeding in a northeasterly direction, and then the suspect exited the building. They don't talk properly. And now we've got this tragic case of Matthew Wallace, who was the helicopter pilot who crashed into Lake Wanaka, of course. They've recovered the body. And according to this news report, police are calling it the best possible outcome in the circumstances. I just really wonder if they thought that through, because I would have thought that the best possible outcome would have been him not crashing and them finding him alive. So, yeah, just sometimes they just need to have a little listen back. I mean, I know they're not radio announcers or anything, but if they could just have a little listen back and just say, does that make sense? Are other people going to understand what we're talking about? I don't know. Do you know? Now, we've got a report on the use of adrenaline during cardiac arrest. Now, apparently, patients given adrenaline during cardiac arrest are at double the risk of brain damage. This is due to latest research. So, CPR is about 8 times more effective than adrenaline, and a defibrillator is 20 times more. That's the clear, that one. Always wanted to have a go of that. But I think you're not really supposed to do it unless somebody's actually in cardiac arrest. But anyway, but the old stab the needle into the heart and I've watched Flatliners. I know how these things work. And this is the thing. If we can't stab them with the giant needle with the adrenaline to bring them back to life, what next? Will I not now be able to break my pen open and stick it in their throat for a DIY tracheotomy when somebody's crushed their throat in a traffic accident and I can't get them to hospital on time? I don't know what to believe anymore. And finally, more questions. This time around cannabis. The story out today is that 2/3 of New Zealanders think the personal use of cannabis should be legal or decriminalised. And almost 90%, so that's practically everyone, think the same when it's used for pain relief. So, there's some scepticism around these numbers. I'm highly sceptical because I believe it's probably 100%, but the people who are really high just couldn't be bothered answering the survey, or they just couldn't quite focus on the tick boxes properly, or thought that they were answering it, but really they weren't. So really, I think it's all of us think that cannabis is a non-issue, don't we? Or am I on drugs? I am glennzb. I thought this thing went a lot better today. That thing. I shouldn't really have drawn attention to it because it was working so well. I'm glennzb. Thank you so much for having me in your virtual headset. See you back here again tomorrow.